Tim, how can you make the Bible interesting for kids?
Yeah, this is a huge question for Christian parents because they're feeling the pull from TikTok, YouTube, Disney, who are all trying to capture their child's heart and mind. I'm a YouTuber with over 100 million views, so I know how the YouTube algorithm works, and it's all designed to keep kids addicted to their screens. Kids are being fed these instant dopamine rewards, which make sitting through a Bible story feel boring. The question is, as Christians, how do we win kids' attention back and point it towards the Bible? The way Christians have been responding to this question over the last couple of decades isn't working. We keep making the same fatal mistake using a bait and switch tactic. This happens when Christian shows focus solely on preaching the message and ignore the things that make a compelling story: relatable conflict, genuine characters, and engaging plots. Kids especially can see through it, and they find these stories boring and irrelevant. It's kind of like if you really want your kid to eat a vegetable and you think, hey, I'll hide it in their chocolate cake. But when the kid takes that first bite, what do? Blah, they spit it out. They know that you're trying to trick them, and now you've broken their trust.
It still tastes like broccoli, even if it's in a chocolate
cake.
Yeah,
exactly, right? If you want vegetables in the cake, you got to make a carrot cake. It's the same thing for making a show based on the Bible. The Bible already is the most interesting story for kids. We just need to get out of the way and let it speak for itself. We serve it to them through compelling stories with characters the kids can relate to, that they care about, and we watch those characters as they take their journey and discover the wonderful story of the Bible. And that's what we've done with Bible Quest.
So who came up with Bible Quest, Tim? Is this your baby? And then, so what does it actually focus on? I'm taking your point about the bait and switch. If Bible Quest isn't exactly going to do that, what will Bible Quest do?
After my wife Grace and I graduated from Queensland Theological College, we had one of those aha moments where we realized that one of the most neglected mission fields was staring us in the face, our screens. And as you know, screen time is becoming more and more part of family life. The ABS released an interesting stat that showed kids are watching between 2 to 4 hours on their screens every day. So we began to see screen time as an opportunity to turn a neglected mission field into a ministry for parents to disciple their kids. So that's why we formed Gospel Story Studios and created Bible Quest. It's a sci-fi adventure animation that follows Liam, Madison, and Ava as they face common challenges they experience in their daily lives. Each episode, they then ask Simi, a simulator based on the Bible, a question and discover how the Bible is all about Jesus and how he is the answer to life's biggest questions. The focus for Bible Quest isn't just to retell Bible stories, because that's been done a dozen times before. Our focus is to teach how all of the Bible stories are about Jesus, the snake crusher, who fixes the broken world. And if you feel like teaching the Bible is a daunting task, you're right, because it is, especially if you're a parent whose life is busy and your kids are tricky. But that's why we made Bible Quest not just to entertain families. We want to equip parents to disciple their children.
Tim, you mentioned a little earlier about all the things that are competing for our attention, kids and adults alike. Yeah. But are you, with Bible Quest, actually trying to compete with Pixar or Disney or DreamWorks or even Bluey, Brisbane-based Bluey?
Yeah, well, we're also in Brisbane. So well, Bluey is fascinating because it's such a phenomenon. I think Christians are really drawn to Bluey because it's a lot safer than other content that's being made for kids. But I think the primary reason Bluey is so popular is because they tell stories in a compelling way. And when you tell a story well, you speak truth about the world. And because the world is made through Jesus and for Jesus, inevitably it brushes up against gospel truth. I think when Christians watch Bluey, they see sparks of the gospel in the story. But with Bible Quest, we don't want just sparks. We want a beacon of gospel truth shining through our characters and our stories. Now, Disney, they used to do that. Their classics that we know and love were all based on fairy and folk tales that had Christian influences. But personally, I'm trusting Disney less and less, and I think a lot of other people can relate to that experience. Our goal is to create an alternative for Christian parents, so when you turn on screen time for your kids, you can know it's safe, gospel-centered storytelling.
And I don't want to rain on the parade of gospel-centered storytelling or creativity, Tim, but when it comes to creating, and you would know this more than me, I reckon, how do you do it? As in, how do you pay for it? How do you fund
Yeah.
an independent Christian creative work? Because it's one thing to talk about it and one thing to talk about the ideas and why it's a great thing, but how do you get that thing to people? How do you fund it?
Yeah, it's not easy. My wife and I have put our own capital into the pilot episode to prove we can do it and to set that vision. And now we're inviting others to join us on this mission to redeem screen time for kids through compelling gospel-centered storytelling. We'd love to grow a core group of believers that support our mission who want to redeem screen time for kids. Anyone who is concerned about what kids are watching on Disney, YouTube, TikTok, and they want to see safe, gospel-centered contents made for family, we'd love them to come on board. The best way to help is you can visit BibleQuest.show and you can pre-order the Season 1 bundle with all 6 episodes, activity books, and discipleship guides. And you can use code HOPE today for 20% off, or you can become a monthly supporter and your support will actually play it forward so other families can watch Bible Quest at no cost.
And when it comes to success for Bible Quest, Tim, what would that look like? How would you define it?
So we have a vision for success in the short, medium, and long term. Our immediate goal is to get 2,000 pre-orders to fully fund Season 1. And as a special way of saying thanks to our first 200 pre-orders, we'll place your family's name in the credits. Our medium-term goals are, we have 5 additional shows that are in pre-production stage of the pipeline, and we'd hope to see them get made as well. When things really get rolling with Bible Quest, that'll give us the momentum for all of our gospel story projects to be brought to life. Our long-term vision, we would love Bible Quest to be a household name in Christian families, to be in schools and churches with a curriculum that goes through the entire Bible, along with episodes that correlate with every part of the Bible, and help parents and teachers clearly explain how the whole Bible is about Jesus. We want to make it super simple for Christian parents of any stage of faith to be able to engage and interest their kids in the rich story of the Bible and be equipped with the knowledge and confidence to disciple their children to love and follow Jesus. That would be success for us.
So it's always about driving people back to the source, the light, and not getting people wrapped up in Bible Quest itself.
Absolutely, yeah. We're hoping that Bible Quest as a show will engage children to be interested in the Bible stories and to learn what the Bible stories are about, but then parents can use that as a tool to engage and interest their kids in the actual discipleship material that we're making.